All right, good morning. Thanks for bringing me to my channel. This is Discovering My Fitness, and of course I'm on my weight loss challenge, but my overall goal is to be more active, be more fit. What a great morning. Like, just a slight breeze, air's crispy, and that sunrise is just majestic. It's stunning. Like, yeah, I love getting up in the morning, going for a walk. I would have hated this when I was younger. So absolutely a treat. And now today is just like night and day from yesterday as far as like my level of enthusiasm. My motivation isn't really high yet, but like, so for instance, I'm not really getting up excited to go out and do stuff. My body's still not adjusting to the work levels I've decided to put on it. So everything's stiff, everything's, everything's kind of telling me, hey, slow down. But I'm not slowed down to the point where I'm gonna hurt myself. Like, I'm not walking so much that I'm at risk of injury. Although my feet are sore, but my hips and knees are actually doing all right. So it's just I feel sluggish. I'm trying to keep my hydration up. I've noticed that I'm maybe a little bit dehydrated, so I feel like that's part of it. So kind of monitoring that, and sleep. Last year I wasn't working an early job. This year I have a job where I have to be up, and like, I'm going to work now. And last year I had a job where had to be at work, like, what was it, 2 hours later, 2.5 hours later. So it wasn't as big of a rush, I guess, to get going. And so going to bed has been a little bit of a struggle to get myself to bed. Like, I get to bed, I just don't necessarily fall asleep. So sleeping patterns are kind of still up in the air. And partially my fault, but partially just because my body doesn't really relate to that. Like, if I go to bed too early, then I find that I'm up by midnight and I can't sleep. So it's trying to find that happy medium. And the sleep factor, I think, has been kind of affecting my motivation to some degree. So essentially the problems I'm feeling, I think they're kind of mixed. So if I was pushing myself to go beyond what I was capable to start with, now I kind of feel like I have to kind of push myself just to keep going. And there's a difference there, right? Because pushing myself to go harder than I'm capable has negative connotations, like for potential injuries, how stiff I was, being able to get back out again. But pushing myself to get out of bed and get going, it's like, okay, just go try. It doesn't matter how fast I go for a walk, just go for a walk. Big difference there. And so now it's like, okay, I gotta tell myself I gotta do this, right? Just go do it, see what happens, and go from there, right? Okay, maybe I'm just babbling to the phone. Maybe you get what I'm talking about. But I'm at a point now where I've just gotta get myself moving, get up in the morning, come out for this walk. It's like I said, the air is just fantastic. The sunrise is fantastic. My body's slowly getting going. I don't feel fantastic, but it's refreshing, right? So there's so many positives, and that's what I try and take out of it once I get going. And I know at the pace I'm going, I'm not going to hurt anything, right? My joints aren't going to be totally sore because I'm just doing a regular walk. and the pace I'm going, it's good. I'm not gonna do anything to my knees. I find if I try and, I've been trying to jog a little bit here and there just to kind of build up my strength. And it's actually been good. But if I do too much, I feel it in my knees and my hips. So it's good. And I just want to mention yesterday, I went for my bike ride and I was somewhat regretting it. Or not regretting it. Well, apparently I'm regretting talking today. I was fearing it. I was fearful. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to make it. So I just got going. I set the pace super low, and it was just like, find it as easy as possible. I went over half the trip without having to get off and take a break. Now my saddle sore issue I had like a couple weeks ago, that's gone. I've been riding enough, so my sit bones aren't so stiff, so that's good. And you know, it was a good pace. And so really what it came down to is I had to just get out and do it, right? So I had to push myself to do it, and I had to get myself moving, and I made it halfway to having to take a break. So I've rearranged my seating so my hands don't get as numb. I've which you think would make my sit bones get more sore because I'm more upright, but that was okay. And I set a pace where I wasn't straining anything. And that sounds funny because, you know, you're trying to exercise to give yourself more mobility and be more, but you're doing it in a total minimalist type of way. But for me, it's more about, I was, at the end of the bike ride, I was good, right? I was happy with the results. During the bike ride, I didn't have a lot of discomfort. So it took away a lot of the negatives that I think I was fearing. And I made it enjoyable. So, I don't know if that sounds, I don't know what that sounds like. But I think that's kind of the key is if you're trying to lose weight and you haven't been very active, and especially if when you were younger, you were very active, and now it's like everything you do is like, oh, I can't do that anymore. I used to do this, or, you know, it's this whole mental block. And you have to try and figure out how to get over it. And I've kind of determined when I run into these walls, I'm like, well, I want to get to the point where I can do more. I'd like it to happen tomorrow, but it's realistically a 3 to 5 year plan. So what do I do to get past that hurdle, that mental block? And for me, it's always just been make it enjoyable. I had this discussion with my sister-in-law. She hates walking, so she won't go for walks. And I'm not going to get into like her stuff. That's for her to tell people. But the discussion was basically she doesn't walk because she doesn't like it. And I said to her, well, when I started walking, I hated walking. I didn't see the point in walking. I'm like, if you got to go somewhere, you run or you bike or you get in your car. You go as fast as you can. And to walk around the block is not usually something I do. So I've worked in my walking. Like right now I'm walking to get to the bus. I take the bus to work. I don't catch the stop next to me. Right? So walking isn't something I just go around the block because I find that boring. And yes, that's for me. So I've arranged it so it fits my little brain and my little issues. And then I made it enjoyable. I like walking in the morning. I like seeing the sunset. I like seeing, sunrise. Well, my brain is just not working this morning. Or maybe it is, and I'm always like this. Not sure. Anyways, this is kind of the difference, right? Where I was like her before, where I hated walking, and I turned into something that I like. So it's not hard to convince myself to go for a walk. And I kind of planned it into my life. Biking, I'm trying to do the same thing, but I've had too many negatives, and it's like, how do I make it a positive, right? So last year I was on an e-bike, now I'm on a regular mountain bike. Much more difficult, right? So the mental block of that makes me kind of cringe when I say, okay, I got a bike to work. So I'm doing it 2 days a week this week. I'm doing Tuesday and Thursday, weather permitting. Because, and I say weather permitting because I'm not committed to the point where biking in bad weather is really a positive for me, so I need to make it positive. So if I can't bike tomorrow because it's bad weather, I'll bike Friday. Or I'll do another bike on Saturday. Right? But I'm trying to leave weekends to reduce my exercise and give my body more recovery so I can do more during the week, like more distance, push myself a little harder, but have that total recovery. And that's it. So that's where I'm at today. Good bike ride yesterday. Awesome morning for a walk. And yeah, hope you'll join me. Click subscribe and like, and I'll see you for the next video.